Hey, Terry and Christina and anybody else who had some questions about fibro. I'm going to do this really quick, like for under 5 minutes. And I'm sorry I didn't get to it yesterday. So my experience with fibromyalgia came in 2012 when my daughter was diagnosed, and Christina had a question about diagnosis. Back then, the only way to diagnose fibro was to rule out everything else. So my daughter was having pain everywhere, random spots, random bouts of pain, sore throats, all kinds of goofy stuff. We took her everywhere. They finally referred us down to Mayo Clinic in Rochester, and we spent a week down there. And she had all the scans and met with 5 different types of specialists, and they finally said, because we can't find anything wrong with you, but there's so much wrong with you, it's probably fibromyalgia. I did hear on the radio that there might be a test for it now, so I'm not sure about that. But so it can be random pain, it can be random issues, it can be, it shows up in various things. It's obviously a mental disease as well. And so we went down to Mayo Clinic for a week-long pain clinic, and I was already into my mindfulness studies for addiction. And so we got down to the pain clinic in Mayo Clinic, and sure enough, it was really strange to us, but their treatment for fibromyalgia, their main treatment is mindfulness and mindfulness-based stress reduction. So we were blown away by that because I was well into my studies. They explained it to us so easy, so that's why I wanted to do this video. So basically, they said, this is my daughter, Carrie, or this can be your loved one. And we all have neurotransmitters. So you guys know about dopamine and serotonin and adrenaline being our neurotransmitters. That's just the way our nervous system talks to our brain. The nerves in our body talk to our brain by emitting these neurotransmitters. So the neurotransmitter for pain is called substance P. So that is what's responsible for our body telling our brain where we're in pain and how much pain we're in. And so what happens with people with fibromyalgia is their nervous systems are overproducing substance P. So what's going on is, and so they may have some physical pain. So what would happen with my daughter is she'd get a sore throat. So she'd get a sore throat, just a mild sore throat. But to her, it felt like the worst pain in the world. It was like 10 times more pain. So for people with fibromyalgia, whenever they have an issue, a physical issue, it's way worse for them than it would be for somebody else. Or my daughter would sprain her ankle at dance, and instead of it just being a sprained ankle, she felt like she totally broke her ankle. Because that substance P is over emitting in people with fibromyalgia. So it's taking a small amount of pain and it's making it huge amount of pain. And that's why they suffer so much, and that's why we have a hard time understanding them, because they experience pain so much greater than we do, than any normal person. So they explained that to me in like 1 minute. And I understood the disease, and so did she. Like, after they just explained it to us that way, we totally understood this disease. So then they went in, what do we do about it? And so, obviously there's not much physically that's going to help them. So yes, we can use the hot packs, the ice packs, the creams, the medicines, things like that for the small amount of physical pain that would be normal. But it's not going to help that overexertion or that over-emitting of the substance P. So the way that they have to do that, these sufferers have to do that by distracting their minds away from it. Because what happens is, if they get a headache, they start to feel that substance P emits, and they start to feel immense pain. Then all they can focus on is that headache. So as they keep focusing, their brains and their bodies are just going crazy with this substance P, right? So the key, and what my daughter has to practice every day, all day long, is if I feel pain, I know it's going to be greater than anybody else's, so I have to keep my mind off of it. So distraction skills, as soon as they start to feel pain, the worst thing they can do is lay down. Believe it or not, they want to lay down. It's the worst thing they can do, because that just has their mind reeling about the pain. They need to do something. They need to, like my daughter has a lot of things that she does to distract her pain. She'll work on a puzzle, or she'll go out for a walk, or she'll do some exercising. But she will not lay down. So if she's in a great amount of pain, she will not lay down and rest. That's the worst thing that she can do for herself. So look into mindfulness-based stress reduction. Look into mindfulness for fibromyalgia. It can really change the way. And like for Terry and your wife, like when she's in a lot of pain, she just wants to lay down. So, I mean, get her up, get her moving, play a game with her. Games are awesome because as long as we're focusing on something else, we're not focusing on our pain, right? So that's what you can do, because you asked, what could you do as a loved one? That's what you can do, is get her up, get her moving. It doesn't have to be a lot of physical exertion. It's just the mental exertion that we're trying to refocus the brain on something else other than the pain. So I went 6 minutes instead of 5, but I hope that helps. And feel free to message me or call me. My number is 715-222-2733, or message me on Facebook. If you guys have any other questions, just let me know. I hope this helped. Bye. Love you, family.